Ready?
Feel just like, I'm born ready.
Yeah. Nervous?
Woke up, as always, terrified.
Okay, cool.
We
Okay,
move.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the SideQuest podcast. My name is Mark Thorburn.
My name is Jack Are we doing this aggressive?
Yes.
Yeah, right. I feel we're right into it. Yeah, I'm Jack Valentine. I'm pumped to be here.
We come with a vengeance because
That
we're not
we
the
do.
#1 podcast yet.
3 episodes in, I thought we'd taken over the world,
What
but
the
no.
hell?
We're
I
behind
know.
track.
We're behind track. We need to get our numbers out, so we are going to maybe do some leafleting shifts over
Yeah.
the next couple of
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Knock on doors, tell them to watch our podcast.
You see us out in Buchanan Street handing out flyers, just give us a nod and like and subscribe. You know?
Yeah, 100%,
Get that
100%.
going.
But yeah, episode 3, Jack, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling more comfortable. I'm like, back in the studio, my main man,
Back
Marky.
in the studio.
Back in the studio. No, that's good. I actually listened to the 2 podcasts.
That's good.
It sounds pure like I actually listened to it, but it was really good. I mean, not in like a look how great we are, but I was in the gym with it. It was
Were you laughing at your own jokes?
no, but I was so self-aware that if people found out that I was listening to myself, they'd be like, "What is this guy doing?"
I mean, if you're not going to listen to your own podcast, then who
Who
is?
will? Literally.
Who is? Jack, I want to get in quite serious this week,
okay.
actually, because something happened to me recently.
Oh gosh, no.
I got Nelson Mandela affected.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I hate when that happens.
Yep.
What happened to you?
Do you know the Nelson Mandela effect?
I believe that's when you think something, but something's not something.
That is more like that, but on a mass scale. So
Whoa, okay.
some people think something's happened, but then that something's changed to something else.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Wait, I'll get the actual definition up. The Nelson Mandela effect refers to a collective false memory where a large group of people incorrectly remember an event, fact, or details as if it were reality.
That's stressful.
It's named after the misremembered death of Nelson Mandela.
Is he not dead?
He is dead, but a lot of people remember him dying in the 1980s.
Right. Okay.
And also, yeah. So, there's like
Right.
lots of different
Yeah.
things. Like I think Star Wars is a big one. Apparently, Darth Vader says, like, "Luke, I'm your father."
Yeah. Is that
But
not what
instead, he says, "No, I am your father."
No, I am your father.
Yeah.
Was he asked the question? I don't watch Star Wars, but was he asked the question?
I think he was just declaring that he was Luke's father.
Right. Okay. But what was your Mandela effect?
Right. Okay. I've been Nelson Mandela affected, and here's how.
Okay.
What's my big thing? What's my go-to catchphrase?
Haha.
Yeah, but if you were to extend it, what do people typically, when they see me in the street, what are they saying?
It's like a bag, haha.
Okay, cool. What
I think I got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was nervous there.
Do you want a bag, haha?
You want a bag, haha?
And then I came up with merch a couple of years ago.
Yep. Haha bags.
Haha bags. It said on it, "Do you want a bag, haha?"
Uh-huh.
I've never said
You've never once.
that. Never happened. I never said that. I watched. Somebody said recently, they were like, "Oh, you never actually said, 'Do you want a bag, haha?' Yet everyone says it." I went back, watched it.
You've never said.
I've never said that.
Yes, you have.
I've said it in like. I said it once I released the bags.
No, but like I know I can visualize you with the woman at the wee till. Would you like ask her? Would you like a?
Yeah, I go. Do you want a bag?
God, yeah, you don't.
I never once said, "Do you want a bag?" Haha. So I have been.
So you're a fraud.
No, I've been Nelson Mandela affected.
Who's going round doing this to people? That's my question. Who's going round going? Mark.
I don't think it's anyone. I think it's to do with.
I think there's an individual.
It's a dimensional thing. So the theory is that when something like that happens, the group of people that remember that, they've entered a new dimension. So sometime between me releasing a Tesco video and now, we've entered a new dimension.
So your Tesco video has caused a new timeline.
I think so. I think
Wow.
we're in a new timeline. So me working at Tesco's caused a rift in reality.
A big rift.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
You know the Pringles man? That's one of the ones that's Nelson. Why is it called? Oh, because Nelson's passing. Yeah. Apparently he didn't have a monocle.
That's the Monopoly man you're thinking of, I think. They look very similar
They do, to be fair.
I definitely think the Pringles guy and the Monopoly man, they're related somehow.
They're in cahoots.
Oh, definitely.
Did you ever play Kahoot?
No.
You know, in school?
What's that?
Kahoot was like a quiz one you had in school. You would have like pick 4 answers.
Oh, I was kissing girls, mate.
Oh, no, see, I was playing Kahoot in lunch.
Ah, okay.
You could put funny names like Ben Dover. that got me no girls. But it was good. Did it at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Mrs. Jean, she was lovely.
Nice.
Just sat with her on every lunch for school.
Nice one, Mrs.
5 days
Jean.
a week.
Shout out.
Me and Mrs. Jean doing Kahoot, just one-on-one. But she wrote the question, so she knew the answer. So,
Yeah, I didn't play that. Didn't play much games. Did you get Golden Time?
oh yeah,
Golden Time was good.
Golden Time was lit.
I wonder if you still get Golden Time.
I would hope so. What would go wrong if there
One
was no
second,
Golden
I'm
Time?
gonna
Why
Google
would you
it.
behave Monday, Friday if
Yeah.
you didn't get Golden Time?
Golden Time.
Do you know
Oh my god.
what?
It's called Silver Time. It's been Nelson Mandela affected, mate.
That has been Nelson. The economy's taking it down
We've
to
entered
silver.
a new.
Cheesy.
If you want
peeps,
back,
man.
haha, and Golden Time's now Silver Time.
World's gone soft, mate.
What next?
Exactly.
What next could be Nelson Mandela affected?
I used to have a strategy. Did you would lose 5 minutes Golden Time? Was that your punishments?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
I
you
think
get
the
5,
the
10.
worse you were, the less Golden Time you got.
Because throughout the week you get like, right, that's 5 minutes off Golden Time, and that as a kid was so
That's
crushing.
crucial playtime.
I missed out on detention time for about 3 years because we used to have a wee sheet that would go to a teacher. They'd be like, "This is who done it," and the teacher would do wee black lines. And on my way to detention, I would big lick the thumb and take mine off, and then I'd have full hour of Golden Time. Played the system for 3 years.
Oh, right. It took me a wee second to realise what you were saying there.
So I would have a tally of all the people that were in trouble, the bad boys.
Right.
You know, that's when I did get girls who were like, "This boy's missing 15 minutes worth," and I would just take them all off, and I had my Golden Time.
What were you doing in Golden Time?
Golden Time. I remember we ate haggis once. That was. I don't know if that was something to do with Robert Burns, but there was a Golden Time, and they were like, "Here's a plastic cup full of haggis, neeps, and
You
tatties."
were getting fed. That's You were playing.
No, we
What? It was just
made
getting
smoothies as
fed.
well.
Did
I think
you?
we just ate.
We played with Connects. Do you remember that?
Connects now.
Connects. Connects is it's like little sticks you like conjoin to build contraptions.
Are they
with.
metallic?
No, they're like plastic sticks, and you can make really cool things with it. I loved Connect so much
Let's
that
connect. Was that the thing?
No. No, Connects was quite serious because
All right.
there was a like science to it a little bit. Because I actually
Okay.
was so good at Connects that I was part of the Connects championships in maybe
No.
2008.
Really?
Genuinely, that sounds so fake, but I genuinely was.
I can't believe
I had
that.
to go to the big boy school and we had to make a car, and the car that like drove the fastest or got the longest distance won. So we won. And then we all went to Loudon Castle. Does anybody remember Loudon Castle? Oh, banging.
Right.
We went there and had to make a new theme park ride. We lost because our Ferris wheel would not spin.
Oh.
Made a Ferris wheel when we went to spin it.
So you can do cars, but anything bigger, that's
That's
too far.
I love Connect, so I've just dropped my memory. I wonder if you remember Connects, comment below.
Let
I
us
bet it's
know.
been Nelson Mandela affected and all.
It's not coil connects.
That's why you're thinking it's metal.
No, we used to have this like all these squares that were metallic, or it was like plastic, but they had wee metals and you could connect them and stuff. And I remember one time do you remember wet play? We had wet play. Where you couldn't go outside, so you had to stay in the classroom for break and lunch.
Yeah.
And we made like wee upside down triangles in a flat bit, and we would karate chop it, and you'd basically make it, and it would break because it was only magnets. And we ended up putting the wee triangles, and they were quite pointy, on top, and we were karate chopping and like hurting our hands. And I remember it was P4, and I was like, I'm gonna break it with my head. I'm gonna like wha-bang and headbutt it. Ended up cutting my head open, bleeding everywhere in P4. Got sent home, and I had to tell my mum that it was because I thought it'd be a right laugh to noggin the metallic bit. Don't really remember much of primary after that, to be honest. That was peak.
Jack, we have an exciting twist on today's episode, don't we?
We do.
We have a very special guest joining us.
There's been some hype for this guest as well. I've been asked quite a few times by people.
Yeah.
Passing comments, and I've actually kept it completely secret. Not as if, I need to, but sworn to secrecy.
A woman visited me last night in a black veil.
As she does, yep.
And she pointed towards me,
Mm-hmm.
and she whispered this guest's name.
Was this before we asked the guy to come?
Yes, this is how I decided who was coming
Right,
on.
okay.
She said his name, and she said, "You've got 24 hours." So, we're about 23 hours in, so should we get the guest on?
I think we
We'll
should.
go for a little break. We've got some words from our sponsors.
That we do, very excited.
But yeah, we'll be back very shortly. Jack, we have another sponsor.
Get in, let's go.
We're making big bucks here.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, you like money?
I love money, bro.
Nice one. Do you like hounds?
I love hounds, bro.
Yeah, nice
Absolutely,
one.
yeah.
Well,
Big dogs.
our sponsor this week is releasethehounds.org.
Woof.
They are the newest subscription service. So think HelloFresh,
Yep.
that kind of thing. They are going to send out hounds to an address of your choice every month.
Wow.
Yes, so if there's somebody that's annoying you, winding you up a little bit, then you just put their address in and they send hounds to their address, and the rest is history, probably.
Who let the dogs out? They did.
They did. Obviously, it's completely anonymous, so the receiver does not know that you've sent the hounds to their address. And if you use the code MarkJack10, they send an extra 10 dogs.
Oh, wow.
Nice one.
And do you get to pick the breeds and stuff?
No, not yet. I think it's kind of a new service,
Okay.
but they have the top dogs in the industry.
Wow.
So there's no messing with those guys. We actually used it last summer, actually. Yeah, my wee cousin Michaela.
Yeah.
She broke my iPhone charger.
Right.
So we sent hounds to our address. And all we'll say is Michaela, she's bedridden.
Right.
She's been bedridden since last summer, and she'll be bedridden this summer.
That's a good success rate of the hounds.
Exactly. So just goes to show this service really, really does work. Is there MD you want to release the hounds to?
Not really. Maybe some. My dad, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he woke me up a bit early this morning, so get the dogs on him. Personally.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. And it's a subscription service, as I said. So you pay monthly for it, and those hounds get sent out every single month. So that's releasethehounds.org and use code MarkJack10.
Get that done, boys.
Welcome back to the SideQuest podcast. We are joined by our first ever guest. It's Craig Ferguson.
Hello, boys.
Hello, thank you.
Hello.
Did I clap for myself as well?
Definitely. There we go.
What an honour. Thank you for having me as the first guest.
Thanks for coming on.
And I'm loving the outfits as well.
Yeah.
I guess that wasn't planned at all.
Get the badge in there.
Not planned at all.
No.
I was just trying to impress you, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
it's
was
worked.
that.
I mean, mine says Scotland here as well, so all three of us
brilliant.
are we're all matching.
Nice
Really
one,
cute.
yeah. What's been happening, Craig? Give us a chat. I feel like you're just out and about all the time.
Aye. Keeping busy. I hate not being busy, to be honest with you. As soon as I'm kind of sat in my house, I'm just like,
Let's walk to another country.
yeah, exactly, mate. Literally, get itchy feet. So no, I've been darting about, been on different trips, different holidays and stuff like that. And then this summer coming up was, well, actually a year ago today, finished the walk to Germany.
Yes.
Not to only harp on about that. I've got a personality out with that, I promise. But that was a year ago today, and I was like, right, well, it's summer again. I know the weather doesn't really suggest it, but I was like, I want to do something fun again. Came up with a new sort of idea and then back to it. But like you said, never really keep my feet on the ground in one place for too long. Try to dart about and keep busy. How you boys been?
Love
Feel like
that.
I've seen you
Good.
in
We're
ages.
brilliant.
We're
I feel under. I mean, I got the train here. Didn't really do anything fancy to get
I know
here.
you could at least walk.
I know. I felt like I should have done that
I know.
today. Should've got
Mr.
up
Walking
early,
Man
I know.
seeing you're that's almost quite snobby. I walked
It
here.
is a bit. Did you? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
good
yeah.
for you then. That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's like disgraceful to his craft.
It cost me £4.70, so I should have walked.
I'm a little bit offended by that, to be fair, but we can move past it.
Yeah.
I think we can.
Are you comfortable
Are
with
you
doing-
okay? I can leave realistically. I don't need to.
Well, would you mind maybe leaving?
I could leave.
Right, we'll keep.
Or should I just sit
You
quiet?
can sit
I'll
there for
just-
a while.
I'll
We'll
just
do a
sit- I'll-
strike system. You're in strike one, right?
All right, okay, that's fine.
There we go.
I'll just.
Right, you
Um,
just keep your finger up, right? Just so
There
you
we
know.
go. Yeah, you keep that up. The reason I suggested we wear Scotland tops is you're spot on. A year ago, you finished your walk, and then a year ago, tomorrow for us
Yep.
was it was actually the anniversary when we met.
That's true.
And Scotland playing in Germany. So I thought it's like a wee bit of an anniversary
That's
all
quite.
around.
Are you going to do a wee couples post?
We could do.
1 year with bro.
Aye, we can go out onto the streets of Glasgow, recreate the photo of us meeting for the first time. But no,
Oh.
I mean, mate, it is so mad. Honestly, like that has been the quickest year of my life. Like I cannot believe that it was 1 year ago already. But yeah, like you said, it would have been 1 year ago tomorrow when Scotland played in the first game and we were all drinking out in Munich. Sun was
That's it.
shining. Oh, life was good. And yeah, now we're back to reality, boys, I guess. But
I know.
sometimes.
Part of me does have like the blues a wee bit
Yeah.
that we're not back in Germany.
I was in the
kinda
Avian.
don't really know what to do with myself. I feel like I'm having a lost summer. Or
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean, we'll obviously go into it and talk about more about that. But like, what was it like? See being back home and like watching it. Obviously, you
Oh,
were saying
it
you were in
was-
the pub and stuff. Was the atmosphere still
It
class?
was brilliant. It was a bit nuts. Anthem wise,
Yeah.
It was one of those things when it started. I was like, who's going to sing?
Yeah.
Everybody sang,
Aye.
and then obviously we lost.
We don't talk
It
about
was,
that.
it was not ideal, but it was bouncing.
Aye.
It was really, really cool. And I was walking back, pissed, and we walked
Yeah.
home, and people were just tooting their cars.
Yeah.
It was good. But no, the scenes, see, especially when you made it,
Oh,
that was nuts. And you boys, the beers and stuff looked
There was
unreal.
a couple of pals of mine who did say that there was some certain places in Glasgow that felt a bit quiet because
really?
I think they worked it out. There was like the percentage of like men between like 18 and 35 that are like not in Scotland right now. Like, see if another country wanted to attack Scotland, perfect time
Game on,
100%.
Perfect time to do
I
it.
can only imagine any sort of industry that's dominated by that demographic of like
They were hit hard.
18 to like 30, well, 18 to like 50-year-old probably guys were just zero work got done for that full 2 weeks.
100%.
Absolutely zero. And the Scotland national team kind of followed that suit as well. I mean, they didn't put any work in themselves. So
they
I
were
guess
on their holidays as well.
I guess it kind of works out, but no, mate, there was a part of me that was literally like, I get chronic FOMO everywhere I go anyway. I don't know if you are the same, but regardless. But obviously, I was buzzing to be in Munich, but there was a small part of me that was like, I wonder what it's like back home. But I mean, I know obviously it was by far the better place to be. It would have been in Munich. But that's why I asked. I was curious to see like how it was back home because I mean, obviously it would have been Euro 2020, COVID. It was everywhere. It was half shut and stuff. I don't really count that in my head. It wasn't the same thing. So. Aye, but no, definitely probably won't be home for any tournaments in the future. I will definitely be travelling for them all if we get there. A big if, obviously.
But Germany was class. That day that I met you, I felt a wee bit mortified meeting you because I feel like we were living two different lives. You had literally stormed your way to Munich by foot, raised so much money while doing it, and see shortly just before I met you. So I think I'd ran to like a shop for a beer, got caught talking to somebody, and you see that square that we're in. They ended up cornering it off with like police vans round, so you couldn't get in, and if you wanted to get out, like you were allowed out. So the issue was, I left that square, all my pals were in the square, and all these riot vans were circling it. And I was like, I need to get there. So it was a riot police van, whatever it was, against one of the walls. I was like, I'm gonna have to climb over the hood of this, and I was like pure checking to see if the police and that were looking. They weren't. Literally, like, not even like, because I said this to you, it wasn't cool at all. I couldn't imagine. Jumped up, had a beer in my hand, crawled, was in a kilt, a true Scotsman style as well. Obviously. So probably, a bit of a sight.
Giving a show to the locals.
100%. The police were like about to stop me, and they were like, whoa, no. Climbed over that police van, and literally I think I met you 3 minutes later because I was looking for my pals, and then I saw you. And I was like, no way, it's cute. You can see this. We were like, oh, they've got a wee picture in that, and I was like, I need to find my pals because I have no idea what's going on. I'm steaming right now.
Completely out to get. But that was funny. I mean, I don't know about yous, but I feel like I've had so many of like similar interactions where when you message someone on like Instagram or like social media and stuff like that, or you watch their videos and stuff, you almost feel like you know them already before you meet them, and then it's like 2 years has passed, and you're like, I've never actually met this person, have I? And then you meet them for the first time, you're like, oh, no way. I mean, obviously, I've met both of you boys before, like with that, so it's a bit different. But it is funny. Sometimes you'll be talking to someone for ages, and you're like, oh, this is the first time we've met. But yeah, that would have been the first bit. But that whole day was chaos. I remember the exact same thing, similar story, mate. Like, we walked out of the enclosed riot van area, which was in that square, going to get more bevy, of course, and then we try to get back in, and then it's like blocked off. And I remember like being up at the riot police, and to be fair, the police were quite chill, like they weren't pure bad with it. And I was like walking up like, excuse me, can I get back in and stuff? And there were people around me that was like, you need to let him back in. you and I was just like, nah, but it's cool. But there was a wee way to sneak in underneath, but we got back in. But
underneath?
If you went under the metro station and came out the other bit.
I think you mean under a van. I was like, that
would have been
imagine
for
the
the
news
cause.
caption that. When it walked in, Unity's climbing out from under that police vans.
There was a part of me that was like, that full tournament, like the full 2 weeks, that was a little bit mortified every morning that I woke up just being like, I hope there's no videos of me like, being stupid and drunk, like
pure
going
piss
there.
throwing up outside. They're like, that's our hero.
There probably would have been somewhere, but I don't think anyone cares enough to probably repost them. But
we all there was a
part of me that was like waking up every morning like, scared to go on my phone, like, oh.
Just double checking.
But we were fine.
That's
We
good.
were all good. We got out unscathed.
That must so I imagine when you left Scotland for Germany, obviously you had a following and stuff.
Yeah.
But I imagine from that walk from Scotland into Germany, you must have shot up so much to the point that, see, when you arrived in Germany, you must, like, the perception of you would have been so different from what it was when you left Scotland. People must have seen you as like a superstar. Like,
it was, mate, it was so strange, because it was like, it really was like that sort of joke and say it proper was that like 15 minutes of fame, in that sense that of like, because the build up was so big and because there was that like final moment, obviously we spoke about it there, of the like actually the walk into the square, but it was crazy. I mean, the socials and stuff like that, one of the main reasons why the donations were so high is because the socials were doing so well, the mainstream media was covering it and stuff. But it was like, I think beforehand I was posting and stuff like casually on TikTok and Instagram. I wasn't like, I didn't have it in my head that, I'm going to, really put an effort into to grow it too much. Well, that's true and it's not. I obviously knew that if this went well in the walk and stuff like that, it could be good. But it literally, like you said, it way surpassed. I think I got it on my notebook somewhere when I came up with a provisional plan on like pen and paper. I'm sure I put in like the tiniest writing, like, if I can gain like 2,000 followers on Instagram, if I can gain 10k on TikTok, I would be buzzing with that.
That'd be a win.
And then obviously it just completely surpassed that. So I was like,
what do you think you got?
It would have been, TikTok would have been closer to the 100k range, purely from that like month and a half of it. Because I think on TikTok I had something maybe like 20,000-30,000 beforehand, and then on that last, by the time I finished, it was like, well over 100,000.
Would you though? Because imagine you rocked into Germany.
Yeah.
He'd be killed.
No,
imagine all the views just tanked.
I know.
You're pure walking, and like, it's just your mum going, well,
yeah. No,
you show up.
I mean, to be fair, like, you're spot on. That would have been a bit like, oh, that was anticlimactic. But in fairness, like, one thing I did always say from the start is it was a possibility. Like, I was under no impression that, we're going to do this and there's no way in which this doesn't do well and doesn't go big. And I always said to people, if people would ask me that, like some of my close friends and stuff, like, oh, what if it doesn't sort of work out that way? And I'm like, well, if it doesn't, like, I've got a class story at the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
The very worst case scenario is we raise, like a few £1,000s for charity anyway. So I was already kind of prepared in my head that I was like, see, even if it does get to that where it's like, no, nobody really cares, mate. Like, at least at the very least, I would still have that story of being like, I walked to Germany one time.
Oh yeah,
so
it's still the thing.
Still in my head in that sense, it was cool. But no, I'm very like grateful. I'm so lucky that obviously so many people were like spurring me on, and it definitely did make it a lot easier, to be honest. Like the actual physical side of things, knowing that there was people watching and waiting for your next video
and stuff.
Because you're like, well, I need to kind of get the next video out. I need to post the updates, and it kind of spurred along. But it was so much fun, and obviously that kind of leads on the whole. I loved it so much, and that's why I've now got that itch for it, and I want to do similar sort of stuff in the future. But so much fun, mate. I'd do it all over again if I could.
Would you say it changed your life?
I mean,
that's very deep.
Existential, like
God,
I know.
Get one guest on, and you come John.
No, I mean, in fairness, like obviously, mate, that's what I'm all about. That deep questions like that, I'm absolutely not opposed to it. But I don't know, like I wouldn't say it changed me like personally at all. I was very much the exact same person coming out of it as what I was before, probably just a bit more happy and buzzing because of everything that had happened. But I mean, it definitely changed my life in the sense that I came out with revised ambitions for what I want to do with my life. I've seen a more maybe concrete path and being able to pursue the social media stuff, like going after that a little bit more, which I maybe didn't see as much as a viable option beforehand. So there was definitely aspects of it that I would say were like life changing. From like a personal standpoint, I'm very much and have been, the same person for years and years now, obviously with a bit of growth sprinkled in there, I would like to hope. So I wouldn't say for like it fundamentally like changed me. I didn't come out the walk like, right,
I'm now Craig Ferguson.
But yeah, there was definitely aspects of it that were quite, life changing as such. But yeah, I don't want to be too dramatic on you boys.
That's all right. Did you? We'll lower the tone. Did you ever consider getting the bus?
Yeah,
mate.
We ever just like, did that bus ever drive past and you're like, yeah, just just jump on that.
I was
Who knows?
boys. I was so tempted a couple times, man. Especially when you're literally in the middle of nowhere and
God, well, yeah.
Luxembourg, and then there was actually a few times. It's funny you say that. There was a few times, right? The rain is pelting down, weather was horrible, and I'm like, this is not fun right now. And the weather was that bad that on one occasion, one day, 2 cars had pulled up beside me, being like, what are you doing? Like, do you need a lift?
Can I help you or something?
And get in the car and we'll drive. And I was like, I can't. I was like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I can't. And that was heartbreak. That was probably the closest when someone would be. I'm like, if I get in that car and they drive me like 10 miles down the road, is anyone going to know? But I was like, I've got to stay firm. But there was definitely times where I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. Like, literally anything to get across.
You could have done with Heelys.
Mate, there was some
Whip
really
out the
good...
Heelys and you'd have been...
Is that cheating?
You'd have half.
Because
is that... I'm saying...
He said I'm walking to Germany, not healing to Germany.
That's true. But I think that would maybe be harder in itself. I think healing... Maybe that could be my next challenge after this one. Healing back to Germany.
I think
Healy, if you're watching.
Yeah, that sounds like
upgrade.
I would make so much
money.
I'm going to say
I'll come with you. See, the walk sounds boring, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know if I like walking that much. Healing.
We're on to something.
I'll heal you.
We're side quest boys. Let's do a side quest. Somewhere healing.
Maybe we can't go to Germany if you've done that.
Yeah.
Off.
I mean,
we're not healing to Germany.
Yeah.
I've not got that in me.
We Healy from Glasgow to Edinburgh.
We could Healy from Glasgow to Paisley. I've been.
That's not a bad shout.
That's easy. I mean, let's. I'm becoming the Healy guy now, right, mate? I would get that done.
That's it. Walking's old now. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Heelys is there.
Anyway, but I need a pair of Heelys to do it first.
That's
so Heelys.
it. Heelys. If you're watching this, why?
Get on it. Get us a pair of heels. But what was your route to Germany? How did you get it? Because I know all sorts of people.
You lazy fuck.
No, I'm not meaning like, I know all sorts of people were doing mad flights and connections and stuff like that. Were you quite straightforward?
So I went from Shawlands to the city centre of Glasgow.
Yeah.
Got a bus from the city centre of Glasgow to Edinburgh.
Right.
Flew from Edinburgh to Dusseldorf,
yeah. Was it Wies, the dead small airport that's like miles away?
I think so. This could be wrong. Then we had to get... So that was all quite easy. To be fair, once we got in Germany, the train, I think... Have you seen Harry Potter 3 where the train stops and it gets dark and the mentors come on?
Yeah.
We had a little situation like that. We were sat on train tracks for 2 hours in the middle of Germany, in the middle of nowhere, in the dark on a quiet train. A nice train.
Yeah.
Luckily there was a kiddie section, like a play.
So you felt
bin.
you were
right in
there
there.
was beanbags and stuff.
You were at
so
home.
I felt at home, yeah. But there was not that much walking involved. Craig, come on, are you judging me here?
No, mate, not at all.
We did a wee bit of walking.
Yeah, oh, there you go.
Yeah, I have walked. Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Well done, mate.
Thank you. I ran at one point because we're running late for the train.
Wow.
That's good.
So there's a bit of...
Get that Instagram bio.
I
was late for the train.
I ran for the train in Germany. Mate, each to their own, man. You smashed it. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. I raised no money. But
I raised -£5 for the train, and that was pretty
I
much
raised £20 worth of airport beers because my lovely girlfriend Erin sent me £20.
Lovely.
Well, that's nice. That's good.
I raised the spirits of my friends
at
some points. I actually also lowered them, I think. I don't know what.
Get that.
I don't know what happened, but I slept for 16 hours one night in Germany.
That's not a night.
And woke up projectile vomiting, and I was like, "What's going on here?" So something didn't agree with me in Germany.
I would say that's
beer,
you.
Maybe
the beer and kebab combo is dangerous, to be fair, but I mean it's delightful in the moment, and then the day after you're.
I mean, 16 hours. I don't know what happened. I was a sleepy boy for like.
Is that class as a hibernation?
I think
that's
so.
got to be. It's got to be more than a sleep.
Yeah, I don't know why I decided. It was only in day 3. I arrived on the Thursday, and by the Sunday I was hibernating. So.
But you were there in. We bumped into each other again in Cologne, didn't we? You were in Cologne.
We did, yeah.
That one was brief, and I was really drunk at that point.
Brief walking past. I feel like it was just like a collaboration of like random Scottish people because I just bumped into Bems.
Yeah, we got I swear there's a photo of all 3-4 of us. I think there's someone else in the photo as well at the time. But that was like a random like Endgame, like moment where we were just like everyone was coming together. But that was quite funny. Like I mean, I did kind of feel like that, especially in Munich, because like every Scot ever was like there, except you, obviously.
Yeah,
sorry about that, bro. Sorry.
Next time,
Again, I'm on strike too now.
World Cup USA.
Yes, definitely.
We're all going.
How on earth
Healy.
you walking there?
We'll Healy
We're
there.
Healy to the USA.
I will heal it in the USA.
Yeah.
Aye.
Wait till we get
Take
there.
Can we take a flight?
We can take a flight
Right,
there.
thank God.
Or we could row if you want.
What is with this guy?
Have you rode before?
Nah.
Have a day off.
Nah.
Figure it out.
Exactly.
Figure it out. We'll go to a lock somewhere and we'll practice.
That's not a bad shit.
But no, yeah, it was like I genuinely feel like in Germany Munich we were just bumping into lots of random people. I just
That's it.
remember
Scotland
seeing
took over.
so many
The
like
population
so many,
was probably German, Scottish.
without a doubt, and they were so sound as well. Obviously, I've got
Yeah. They were.
I felt-
I've got a love bond with
I
the
was
Germans
watching it
now,
and
but
you heard German people today like, we love the Scottish.
yeah.
Do the best.
Do you have a lot?
Are you got a bit of German?
Yeah,
'Cause that was
yeah,
quite,
that
was
was
alright.
That was
Was
roots,
I was thinking,
from Great Granny.
Was it?
She's
Yeah.
German.
Nice.
yeah.
What's
No,
her name?
Can't remember.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. That was a wee tactical.
Slowing down. No, that was good, but mate, I could tell you've got a little bit in you there.
Can you speak much German?
Keine Sprache Deutsch.
I thought you said kinda.
I think that means like a little. I can speak a
Nice
little German.
one.
I
Also,
don't know.
little's kinda.
Kinda.
Kinda. It just sounds like
Kinda. But no, my German's so bad, mate. Like it's actually quite embarrassing considering because I go over there now. Like I do since, like I said, I've been like love bonded with the Germans after the Euros and all that. Like I made it like a mission to go back over there a few times. I was there for like Oktoberfest and a few other like different things.
Yeah.
Do like a football series over there as well, which is really cool. But every single time I go over, they're still harping on about like we love Scotland so much.
Oh,
I was going to do the accent there as well, and I
Do you think
backed
they
out
say
of
that
it.
to
I don't
everybody?
have your great granny in me.
Nah. I genuinely don't. Like, honestly, I feel like there's something so strange because the German people are like typically quite reserved as well, and then when they see a Scottish man in a kilt, they lose all composure and they're like, "Oh my god!" It's so funny. But no, they absolutely they still absolutely love it, and yeah, hopefully we can keep that up. But no, every time I've been back over, they've genuinely just been so sound, still loving it. A year and a bit on, the legacy continues.
Interesting wee segue, talking about the language of German, because we are going to be testing you pretty soon on your German.
No.
German, like some words are so similar to English. When we were there, we were obviously kilted up. On game day, I was a true Scot because...
Were you
somebody
actually
got
free
it.
balling it?
100%.
That's a bold.
Did
you?
but
You couldn't at any point.
Mate, it would have been a disservice to our country if we all went over there, tens of thousands of guys in kilts, and we weren't true Scotsmen.
Without the knobs out.
It would have been
that's fair.
it would have been a disservice to
No,
Scotland.
That's
I back
it.
that. Well done, boys.
But I think that by the second game, it was starting to hurt a bit because it was hot and sweaty and clammy. Like it was really hot in Germany.
It was.
And I was like, chafing a wee bit here. So went to a local pharmacist and I was like, I need some talcum powder. And he was going, no. I was like, talcum powder? He's like, I don't know. I was like trying to show, I was trying to get pictures up. I was trying to explain. I was like, talcum powder, usually for babies. I was like, usually for like, sweating. And he's like, no. So I showed him a picture of talcum powder, and he's like, talcum powder.
Oh man!
Oh, come
You
on,
knew
man.
talcum
on.
powder. So
Again, sounds Scottish.
Talcum
I did.
powder.
I was like talcum
Talcum
powder.
powder.
That's actually how
talcum
that.
powder.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, of course I know now.
Absolutely.
You should have said. Didn't know you were German. No, mate, that is true. The chafing, I think there was a lot of guys that weren't used to it. To be fair,
Talcum powder must have shut up.
mate. Well,
there a helpline out there?
I did notice the increase in price of crates of beer from when we first arrived in cities to the end. The inflation rates were wild. I remember when we got to Cologne. We got there like kind of a day before the madness of like everyone else arriving, but it was still relatively busy, and we went into a bar or like a kiosk, a shop, and we were like, crate of beer. They were like, oh yeah, perfect. I think it was like 15, 20 euros or something like that for like 20 beers. Brilliant. We're like that. We're loving it. This is going to be awesome. By the last day, it's overrun by Scots, like so busy. We go into the same shop and he's like, yeah, 50 euros a crate. We were like, mate, we were here 3 days ago, and he was like, well, are you gonna
say no?
Do you want beer? And we were like, yeah, we want beer. And he's like, 50 euros. We're like, I hate you, but I do kind of rate it because everyone's going to pay it anyway. I mean, that's a something we can talk about as well. The guys, you seen the portable bucky vendors?
Yes.
In Germany?
They must have made a
No
fortune,
way.
mate. Yes,
That's
mate.
capitalism.
They just
at its finest.
drove over with
Yeah.
massive quantities of buckfast.
So they would have
That's
went to,
brilliant.
they would have went to like a Costco or whatever you buy
Aye.
like wholesale amounts of bucky. I don't really know. Drove over and were just in the streets selling. I'm sure they were selling like half bees for like €15 and stuff like that.
genius. It's
And
also
mate,
rank.
people were lapping it up.
So I actually never saw a seller, but I was on the hunt. So
Yeah,
I
Do
was
you
like,
like Bucky?
I love a wee bucky. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I-
Aye, really?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
vile.
for me. It's not
It's
for me.
vile.
Especially because I'm not good with caffeine, but it's got the perfect amount of caffeine that
Yeah.
you see like after long days of drinking. So it's like long days, you're up
They are,
early,
yeah.
and up late. Like I was like a wee happy would be.
Do you go a
Yeah, that's
bit?
right
Do you
now.
go a bit loopy on caffeine or what's?
It makes me heavy anxious. If I have a
Oh,
coffee
really?
or something, I think I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna lose my girlfriend. I'm gonna lose my home. I think something bad's about to happen.
Yeah.
I'm convinced I might die.
Yeah.
Genuinely, like I can't.
So just a wee bit of bucky.
That because I love
perfect
Jaeger
amount.
bombs.
Yeah.
But see if I was drinking a full Red Bull, then
Whitey material.
I love a Jaeger bomb.
What's your drink of choice on a night out?
Just a Tenants.
Yeah,
Tenants is my go-to.
me too.
That's my love.
I love it. Yeah, tenants.
Seen that tea. I'm like, ooh.
It is
Do I go
good.
for an after? Let's get that sorted.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
did.
it's Friday, innit?
Yeah.
Friday
Party
feeling.
time.
There we go.
No,
didn't tell
Jaeger
me twice.
bombs and Bucky. It's just cough medicine.
It used to be a. It
It's
used to be
horrible.
a.
We're gonna ruin our chance of Bucky sponsorship,
I
but
know.
it is vile.
No, I used to be a vodka Red Bull man on a night out, and then I kind of grew up and I realised that I would never consume 10 Red Bulls normally in a day. Yet when I'm
Aye.
on a night out, I think that it's acceptable
normal,
to just be
yeah.
like especially if it like the draft. I feel like the draft one's like watered down a bit, but especially when they're pouring cans, you're like that is literally 10 cans of Red Bull
straight
in the space of what
caffeine.
4 hours. No wonder I felt a bit wired.
Yeah, that can't even.
So I don't do that anymore. I'm good now.
Health time.
Good.
On the water.
On the
What a
wall.
guy.
Nice
Walking.
on the Mac B. Is that what you've got there? The Volvic.
We're Volvic.
The Volvic.
But aye, so we're going to play a little game with you, Craig.
Amazing.
We're going to give you some German phrases and you've got to guess what it is. Or maybe not guess, maybe you'll know. Jack, you don't know actually.
Yeah, I
any
was
of
gonna say we don't have a game. I've got no clue.
them. So if Craig wants to pass it up to Jack, then
I'll be
you're
the
more
phone
than
a
welcome.
friend.
Right,
Right,
cool.
right,
Okay,
you phone-
awesome.
you
I'm
phone a
ready
friend.
for
Right,
this.
we'll start off easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hallo.
That's a tough one.
I might need to phone a friend for that one. Hello.
Can you use it in a
Does
sentence?
that mean? Yeah. Could you use it in a sentence,
Yes.
please?
Hello.
Right. Okay. That's a hard. No,
Okay. Right. No, that helps a lot. Right.
Right.
I'm gonna. Would that mean hello in English?
That means hello, yes.
Oh, well,
that's a
Come on,
point.
Good.
Okay, right.
Fantastic.
Next
Thanks,
up,
man.
we've got. Oh, sorry, that's taking a bit.
Take your time. It's
Mein
not.
Name ist Craig.
My name is Craig.
My name is Craig. Right. Just because the Craig, I feel like's a giveaway in there. I know that. I remember that one from school German. That's my name is Craig.
Oh, it's actually I rode the bus.
Oh,
No, I'm kidding on.
No.
Yeah, I
it's
knew
my
that.
name. It's my name is
Yeah,
Craig.
yeah.
Well done. That's a
Nice,
point.
nice.
Okay, next.
Verkaufen Sie Talkumpuder.
How comes he talcum powder? That's
Why did you include that one just out of interest? Is it any personal reasons? Or?
We have a very sweaty granny at home, and we
Right,
have to put it on her, otherwise she chafes. And there's
Right,
nothing
okay.
worse than a chafy granny.
Is
Better not be
could you
my
play it again?
granny.
Sorry, have you
Yeah,
still
of
got it?
course.
Verkaufen Sie Talkumpuder.
Verkaufen die Talkumpuder. I'm going to go for I need talcum powder, or do you have? It's going to be one of the two. Do
We
you
need- we
have
need a
talcum
final
powder?
answer.
Do you have talcum powder?
I'll give you it. Do you sell talcum powder? I'll give it.
Okay,
I say clap
okay.
up still.
I'll take that.
Okay, next.
I'm waiting for these to get so obscure.
Hilf mir, hilf mir. Die vermummte Frau aus meinen Träumen ist zurück. Sie kennt keine Gnade.
Just me and
Ich
she
habe
kinda,
noch 7 Tage, bis ich sterbe.
she kinda turned me on a little bit.
Hilf mir.
Hilf mir.
Give me.
Hilf
Give
mir.
me. Right, that was a bit of a long one. Can I get it one more time? I feel like
Yeah.
I can follow
It
this.
felt like a chant.
Right.
Are you ready?
Hilf mir, hilf mir. Die vermummte Frau aus meinen Träumen ist zurück. Sie kennt keine Gnade. Ich habe noch 7 Tage, bis ich sterbe.
Don't phone a friend on that.
So I caught Siebenstage.
It's a popular German phrase, apparently. according
this
to the
is-
website.
Right. Okay. No, I'm gonna phone a friend on this one. I feel like my friend over there is going to know
He's
the
gonna
answer.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks
Well,
like a man that knows.
He's got.
Yeah.
Was it great grand?
Great grand
Yeah.
through my blood. I believe, and this is coming from what I am very well known on, as I believe is, may I borrow a screwdriver and take it to the library, madam? Final answer.
Okay. The real answer is, help me, help me. The hooded woman from my dreams is back. She knows no mercy. I have 7 days left until I die.
Close.
See, I caught the 7 days part, but
Yeah.
I couldn't get the context around
Yeah.
it.
That's okay. Right,
I have heard that in Germany a few times.
It's
Yeah.
a popular phrase. I remember
Yeah.
them saying
Was
it when
that-
we were there.
Right,
We
was
ordered
that
5
going round?
lasagnas and we got told that. Next one.
Wie geht es dir?
It means like,
Come on, Craig.
how are you, dear?
Just how are you?
Just how are you?
Yeah. Just how are you? Next.
Das Wetter ist schön.
The weather is bad. Good.
Yes.
I got some eyes there. Okay.
Next one.
Mein Onkel wird seit Jahren vermisst. Ich hätte nie gedacht, ihn jemals wiederzusehen. Ich vermisse ihn so sehr.
Oh, for Jesus. This is...
Mutter sagt, er sei an einem verregneten Herbstabend zurückgekehrt. Sie sagt,
It's another really popular one, isn't
It's
it?
from populargermanphrases.com.
Yeah. I thought that. So I think it's something about, if I remember correctly, obviously just like retracing my memory.
Yeah, Craig, of
I think it's
course.
something about their uncle being a pharmacist, and then selling someone the wrong medicine.
I'm with you.
You on this-
I felt the
It
same.
starts off right. It says here, my uncle has been missing for years. I never thought I'd see him again. I miss him so much. Mother says he returned one rainy autumn evening. She says he's the one-eyed man, a creature from a fairy tale.
Cyclops.
I fear my uncle might be a cyclops, and I fear for my future.
It's my German.
It's the Cyclops phrase. How could that?
Do you know?
See, I thought it was the pharmacy phrase, but it's the,
Well, they're both linked to the same story.
the Uncle Cyclops one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You're doing quite well so far,
Okay,
though. Yeah.
I'll take that.
We've got 2 left.
Right.
Okay.
I'm still
Next
struggling
one.
with the aloe one.
ich bin ganz klebrig. Was zum Teufel hast du mir da angeschmiert, Jemma? Es brennt.
Jemma.
Es brennt so sehr. Hilf mir, Jemma. Bitte sag mir, warum es klebrig ist. Und wo ist Papa?
Right, so I did catch a phrase in there from one of the old ones. It says "help me" in there somewhere. so
Okay. Yeah.
so it's oh god, don't know the context around it though.
No, you do, you man.
Help me, and then a papa in there as well. No idea of the context around it.
I
I'm
think
gonna
it's something they
pass.
typically say festive season. I'm
Right,
not
okay.
sure.
So pass on that one. I caught a little
Again,
part.
this is just populargermanphrases.com.
Yeah.
It says, I'm all sticky. What the hell did you put on me, Gemma? It burns. It burns so much. Help me, Gemma. Please tell me why it's so sticky. And where's Papa?
I thought it was the lyrics that I Want It That Way.
Well,
That was where my head was going.
you know, sometimes
Well, they're quite close.
that is quite close
Yeah.
actually if it's German, but
Gutted.
No, they
but
were
yeah.
close. Well, thank you. No, mate.
Yeah,
you're
I was
right,
hoping that was
no,
quite
genuinely.
good. That was quite good. You're not good in your sticky Gemma.
Yeah.
Was Gemma your ma?
Gemma is not my man. No,
No.
I
No,
do
she's
have a
popular for German phrases.
Right,
obviously.
got you,
She's-
got you, got you, got
It's
you.
like Jack and Jill sort of thing. It's just a name that they use.
100% Gemma. Yeah. But
But no, thanks, mate. That was good fun. I feel
I
like
thought we learned something today.
yeah, and I can take those phrases to Germany now and show off.
I start
Well,
using them
well,
on the street,
yeah.
pull over somebody and just start.
Go, I look silly. Next time you go, you'll know your stuff.
Yeah.
Help me, help me.
Use that one.
No, yeah.
Yeah, class. It sounds like you do know your German well though.
No, definitely, mate. And like I said, it's going to put me in good stead when I go back over there. I'm over in Germany. Well, the end of last season with the football and stuff, I went over a lot more. I was back over there. I started like a new football series, so I go over again in like the kilt and stuff.
Nice.
And then the idea of it, like conceptually, is that I'm trying to find like the best fans in Germany.
That's good.
So going to like lots of different stadiums and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying. Like everywhere I've went so far in the kilt, they all take to it brilliantly.
You're just trying to get free pints, aren't you?
Mate,
Who's the best? Who's going to buy me a pint today?
Well, I mean, it does work.
If it helps,
free
it helps.
tickets, free
Right.
pints. All I'm saying is,
You have the full nation of Germany under your thumb.
mate, I've got to play the game.
Craig, I think the question is, what nation's next?
Oh, to walk or to
Dominate,
Healy?
take over.
to put my thumb. I don't know. Honestly, I think we obviously touched on it a little bit earlier on. The next World Cup, the next major tournament, we're talking Canada, USA, Mexico. In terms of challenges and stuff like that, it could be hard to plan something. I'm not going to say too much because it's so far away, but I have got an idea that I know I'm really, really confident would be amazing. But it's all dependent on Scotland getting there and all
That's
these
true.
different stuff.
God,
I have
yeah.
a sneaky suspicion I know what it is.
I don't think you will.
Are you going to join the Mexican cartel?
Mate, why? Spoiler
do
alert.
that. Come on, man.
Spoiler alert.
Are you actually? Is that
It's
you?
something along
Okay,
those
I won't
lines.
say anymore,
Yeah,
but it's something
right.
along the lines of that.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, we won't spoil it. But no, I do feel like whatever it is, spoilers.
Yeah.
It could be really, really good, but it is so heavily dependent on whether Scotland qualify or
So
not.
your
Because,
ambitions are based on the performance of Scotland's football team.
which is obviously a
That's
terrible. It's a
yeah.
terrible career
That's
plan as well.
What do you
isn't it?
think? You hopeful?
I was until these recent run of fixtures. I'm like, again, a bit like deflated now. But I don't know. Like I'm now also in the camp of like, right, I have this good idea that's surrounding the World Cup and stuff. Do I then go ahead even if Scotland don't qualify and kind of just spin the narrative to being like, well, Scotland aren't here, but I'm going to be representing Scotland in
Go
this
for
way.
Germany.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm like cautious. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be too like, oh, look at me when Scotland aren't even there, and you're doing all this for it. So it is hard, but that's in my plan definitely. I'd say the USA and Canada and Mexico are definitely the next countries that I have my sights on for a big sort of challenge. But I mean, as of tomorrow, it's Friday the 13th today. As of tomorrow,
that's bad.
yeah, no, it is bad luck.
I don't like that.
I'm starting a new challenge. So
yeah.
this summer, I'm starting a brand new challenge, but I'm not going to a foreign country this time. I thought Craig Ferguson, Scotland, Germany connection, all that. The man that would walk 500 miles and 500 more for his country. Why not walk the full country?
Absolutely.
So that is my next challenge as of tomorrow morning, waking up bright and breezy tomorrow, driving to the most southern point in all of Scotland where I'll start a 16-day trek, near 400 miles, not quite 500 this time, and walk to Scotland's most northern point. So I'm going to attempt to traverse and walk the full length of Scotland just this summer. There's multiple reasons, like kind of why I wanted to do it and why I wanted to go ahead with it. Obviously, we've touched on it as well. One of the main reasons is for if that possibility that we qualify, I want to keep myself fit and ready for the possibility of another challenge, because if I'm going to be doing something that's bigger, I don't want to be 2 years out from walking and not have done something. So this way it'll keep me sort of match ready, if you will, to go again. But also, like, since the obviously the charity aspect, the whole reason why I was doing the walk last year for Brothers in Arms was to raise awareness and as much money as possible for men's mental health and that sort of thing. Since then, I became an ambassador for the charity, so I now work with Brothers in Arms as an ambassador for that charity. And I thought,
Fantastic.
well, if I'm an ambassador, it's time to pull my weight. Why not do another something this year? And raise a bit of awareness and money again. I'm under no like false illusion with this. I know that it's not going to reach the dizzy heights of the Munich walk and stuff like that, but that isn't the plan. The plan is to do a bit of fun. It's a new series, raise a bit of awareness and stuff. And there's also other like elements to the walk that I'm going to sprinkle out throughout it to keep it fresh and to shed light on a lot more issues in Scotland, if you will, rather than just the mental health focus for this one.
It's brilliant to keep talking about it though. That's good.
Yeah.
Keep the message. Your Strava must be class, by the way. Surely you're bunging that on when you're going to walk.
100%. It's cool. The Germany one, my GPS and my Strava kept playing up like the full time. Oh, that sounds convenient, by the way.
yeah.
I know, I must say.
Bus stop.
It like just shoots you like all sorts of, see if you can keep it running for so long. But I've got a new phone since then, so I know it will work this time. But no, yeah, there's mate, you're so spot on. Like that is at the heart of it, what these challenges are all about. It's continuing to spread that awareness, keep sort of flying the flag for men's mental health and these other issues that come up. But you know, while I still have a following, while I still have interest in these challenges, it's what I'm always going to do. I'm always going to hark back and talk on it because it's such a big issue and something that is so close to my heart. And you see it with thousands of people like around you and tens of thousands throughout the country. So no, definitely, mate. But spread a bit of positivity, a wee bit of a laugh. If people can get a bit of a giggle from seeing a daft Scottish man in a kilt walking 500 miles, then that's mission achieved.
That's unreal. Nice one. We are running out of time, but Craig, how can we support? Let everyone know. How can we support?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to follow along this new challenge, you think that sounds like something that you want to see, following on socials, best way to do it. Craig Ferguson _1 for Instagram, TikTok. I'll be going live on TikTok most days and stuff like that as well. And of course, if you want to donate to the charity and to the cause, then you can click the link in my bio. It's just given at Craig Walks the Length of Scotland. So yeah, thank you, and hopefully you follow the journey.
Unreal. Thanks for coming on. First guest, amazing.
I know.
Are you ready for applause?
Thank you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. And keep it up. I love what you are doing. You boys are smashing it.
Unreal. Cheers, some boy. Class.
Thank you very much.
Sorted.
Awesome, mate.
I do.
Unreal. Thank you. Good chat.